Welcome back. Today I'm going to present you a 2015 American Christmas comedy stoner film called The Night Before. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Christmas Eve, 2001. Ethan recently lost both of his parents in a car accident. His best buddies, Isaac and Chris, stick by him and they establish a Christmas Eve tradition of hanging out. In 2008, the boys are at a pub when they meet a woman who tells them she just returned from the wildest Christmas party ever, the annual Nutcracker Ball. For the next few years, the boys attempt and fail to figure out where the party is located. In 2015, Chris is a famous football star who illegally uses steroids, while Isaac is married to Betsy and they are expecting their first child. Ethan is a poor musician who recently broke up with his girlfriend Diana and works as an elf at a hotel where he is punished by his manager for not acting like an elf properly. While cleaning the jackets, Ethan discovers 3 tickets to the Nutcracker Ball in one of the pockets. Ethan rushes overjoyed out of work with the tickets. He phones the number on the tickets to find out where the party is, only to be told by an automatic system that it will be announced at 10 p.m. Isaac is at a party hosted by Betsy's sister Cindy. Ethan, who is already a little tipsy, arrives before Chris. Isaac and Chris want their old tradition to end, because now their lives are moving forwards, but they are not sure Ethan is ready. Betsy provides her husband Isaac a box full of every drug known to man before they leave for the festivities. What a lovely idea! Because Chris is the new face of Red Bull, he hires a massive limo to chauffeur them around for the evening. The boys gather in front of the city tree, where Ethan displays the tickets to his friends. They intend to start the night by heading to FAO Schwartz and dancing on the piano to Kanye West's Runaway, like Tom Hanks in Big. Chris phones his football mate Tommy Owens, who is going to the Nutcracker Ball, and Tommy asks him to bring weed. The boys contact their former high school dealer, who they call Mr. Green. Chris has to go inside Mr. Green's car to retrieve the weed, so he meets him in front of their former high school. Mr. Green gives Chris some weed and awkwardly tells him to go to a party he's having later and to tell Isaac he'll see him later. Chris ignores it, and the boys go to a karaoke bar and singing Christmas in Hollis, while wearing holiday sweaters which Ethan has chosen for them. Diana and her friend Sarah greets them. While Isaac is already tripping on shrooms, Ethan and Diana catch up. Isaac rushes into the restroom to use coke and balance himself out, and then he records a bizarre video in which he expresses his anxieties about becoming a father. When he returns to Sarah, he gets them both drinks, but his nose begins to bleed, and a drop falls into Sarah's cup. She takes a taste and doesn't know what happened until Isaac's nose bleeds more heavily, and he admits to just doing drugs. Chris talks to a fan named Rebecca outside the bar, who admits she dislikes Christmas. In the bathroom, the two have intercourse. Following that, Ethan calls the number on the tickets again and finally discovers the location of the party. Chris suddenly realizes that he no longer has the weed on him and that Rebecca must have stolen it from him during sex. They contact Mr. Green once more and must wait for him outside Chris's mother's house. Knowing Mr. Green will take some time, the boys walk inside and they play video games quietly. When Mr. Green arrives, Isaac goes to retrieve the weed. He gives Isaac some of his weed and a short glimpse into the future. Betsy is sitting in the first row of a strip club with the two of them. The dancer they're enjoying happens to be Isaac and Betsy's 18-year-old daughter, which makes him even more terrified of having a child. When Isaac returns home, his phone rings, waking up Chris's mother. While Isaac continues to trip, she feeds the boys. He then checks his phone and finds a naughty picture from a guy named James. Isaac reacts perplexed and is turned down by James. He then realizes he accidentally took Sarah's phone, and if Sarah is still upset about drinking Isaac's bloody martini, she will very certainly show Betsy the video Isaac recorded. Meanwhile, Chris tells his mother that Ethan is still not over Diana, to which Chris's mother suggests that he use the holiday season to apologize. They see Rebecca on the street after the guys have left. Chris orders his driver to pursue her in order to recover his weed. The limo is hit by a car after the driver runs a red light. The guys rush out and try to catch up with Rebecca in a sleigh, but it's attached to a lamppost, sending them flying when the reindeer pull it. Isaac is dragged across the roadway until he collides with some traffic cones. Chris pursues Rebecca himself, chasing her to a building's rooftop. When he catches up with her, she advises him that instead of worrying about the weed, he should go spend time with his buddies. She then leaps from the building and lands in a dumpster before she vanishes. Isaac enters a church and begins chatting with the nativity display. He meets Betsy and her family, who invite him to midnight mass despite Betsy's knowledge of Isaac's mental state. He continues to hallucinate that a baby is cursing him in the chapel. When he sees Jesus on the cross, he panics and believes that everyone is judging him because he is Jewish. Isaac becomes uncomfortable and rushes out into the congregation to puke. He flees from the church. Meanwhile, Ethan walks the streets alone and comes upon two intoxicated men peeing in the streets and dressed as Santa Claus. Ethan berates them for making fun of their Christmas tradition. He ends up fighting with them and gets humiliated as a result. Diana, who is already at the Nutcracker ball, calls and asks Isaac if he has Sarah's phone. The boys reassemble and board the subway to the party. Ethan is furious over them for abandoning him, and he argues with Chris while he is refusing to wear his black Santa sweatshirt. The boys head to a bodega where there is a hidden entry to the party. Isaac returns Sarah's phone and receives his. He then discovers that the James who provided the naughty pictures is none other than Franco. He still wants to share photos with Isaac, but he refuses. Chris runs into his football mates and notices that they have a lot of weed. They then mock Chris for posting a video of him singing karaoke with Ethan and Isaac. Ethan then notices Miley Cyrus and asks her to assist him with Diana, knowing that she is a big Miley lover. Miley agrees to assist since she believes Ethan's intent is to propose. She enters the stage and, with Ethan's assistance, performs Wrecking Ball. Ethan then gives Diana a passionate speech and proposes to her. Diana says yes under stress. When she drags Ethan away, she makes it obvious that they are not engaged and that he cannot rely on her as a safety net because his friends would not carry on the tradition. Still tripping, Isaac bumps into some guys with decorations and ends up impaling Tommy's hand with a broken glass. When the others try to beat him up, Chris threatens to videotape them and ruin their lives on social media. The boys attempt to flee, but security removes them from the celebration. Ethan goes to the roof in embarrassment. Mr. Green, who has been hosting the Nutcracker ball for the past 20 years, approaches him. He gives Ethan a joint to smoke, and we see the guys on the first Christmas Eve after Ethan's parents died. Chris and Isaac visited him at home to cheer him up. Ethan burst into tears, and the boys gather around him, sharing a joint. Mr. Green also bursts into tears and encourages Ethan to rejoin his buddies. When Ethan notices the boys arguing with the bouncers, he goes over to join them. As the morning arrives, the boys reunite, but Isaac notices that he has 96 missed calls from Betsy. He receives another call and learns that she is in labor. The boys steal Mr. Green's automobile and they rush to the hospital. Mr. Green determines that he has earned his wings, which emerge from his back and allow him to fly away. The boys are out at the hospital, only for Isaac to learn from Cindy that it was just a false alarm. He then approaches Betsy and shows her the video he recorded. She smiles and says that she too is frightened of having a child, but they both know that they will work together to raise the child once it is born. Isaac is still tripping, so Betsy appears to be a dragon. The men spend Christmas with Isaac's family at his home. Later, Chris goes out to dine with his mother, where he admits to using steroids. Ethan apologizes to Diana's parents for his behavior and for not being prepared to become serious. Diana admits she missed Ethan and always asked Betsy about him. They kiss, and she finally invites him to meet her parents. A year later, the boys and their families are celebrating Christmas together. Isaac's baby can't sleep, so the boys go sing Christmas in Hollis to her. The baby claps, and the story, which was told from a book read by Santa, ends. He is seated with his elves and his son, Mr. Green. Santa then decides to throw his own little Christmas party. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to watch more videos like this. Give a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.